Hello and welcome back to another video by me, FoxyNoTail, here on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, and today I'm here to talk about all of the packs and downloads you can get from FoxyNoTail.com. I've recently added a whole bunch of new packs just for you guys. So heading over to my website, which is FoxyNoTail.com, if you click on the new button, which is resource packs, you will find we have a whole bunch of resource packs that you can now download and add to your world. And there are a few handy packs here. Most of them are just ease of life things, but there are a few visual changes as well, so let's go into them. Downloading and clicking the packs to install them will put them in your global resources folder like this. If they're not showing there, then you've obviously done something wrong, but hopefully you've managed to get them, and you can install them either globally or to your individual worlds. For instance, my packs world here, if I go to resource packs and my packs, I can click on them and I can click activate, and they will go into the active packs. The one that is at the top will have the highest priority, and the one that's at the bottom will have the lowest priority. So let's go through some of the packs. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to slide that screen across there like that. I'm going to click on that screen layer like that. And now we've got two versions of Minecraft running at the same time. And this is not one of my packs, but I do have a video on how to do this, which is only available to do on Windows 10. So sorry if you're not using Windows 10. But yeah, we can multi-instance now. And let's look at the difference, because there really doesn't look like there's a great deal of difference. So first of all, we're going to look at Netherite tools, weapons and armor, which was a popular resource pack that I was asked to put out there, something I feature in my Truly Bedrock videos. So let's look at the difference between those two things. So on the left, you can see the Netherite stuff is a darker blue, which is basically a darker shade of diamond. And the reason for that is that I just don't like the look or the shape or the texture of the Netherite. And it's been a popular opinion that the Netherite stuff looks either like an enchanted stone or an enchanted wood. So what I did was I just took the diamond textures and I recolored them, and I think it looks a lot better, and I really like to be able to use this. This one has been requested quite a lot from different people, so there you go, you now have access to my Netherite resources. So next on the list is the better leather armor, which removed the brown stripes and patches from the dyed leather armor. Now this doesn't affect horse armor, but if we take a quick look at it, you can see the difference here is that it's all nice and smooth the way that leather armor should be. And on the right side here, this is how it normally is, which is just weird. Why would you want these weird brown stripes and patches on your leather armor? So yes, removed those and made it the way I think it should be. Next on the list is chunk lines, which adds green lines around chunk boundaries to help visualize the chunk borders. And we don't need two screens to look at this one, and basically all it does is adds a faint line around the chunk borders like so, and it will go up the walls and things like that. I've only done it on a horizontal plane rather than vertically. I know there are some quite fancy ones available out there on the internet, but I wanted something relatively subtle and easy to see, and I like what I've done with this, and it is 100% working for Minecraft 1.16. Now this is made for the Windows 10 version. It may work on mobile and other devices, you'll have to check it out. But in order to add this to your world, you cannot add it to your world. And what I mean by that is if we go to our packs world and go to our resource packs, you'll notice that it's not actually added to the pack. It's not active. For these ones that are effectively shaders, these need to be added in your global resources. So settings, global resources, and then add them in there. And the same goes for my light levels pack and also things like the fog remover as well. So anything that's technically a shader rather than a resource pack, put it on your global resources and that will work absolutely fine. And then we got light levels, which are available in red, blue or black, depending on if you have any issues with sight or color blindness, and they look a little bit like this. And what it does is it's not affected by skylight, it's completely to do with block light, and you'll notice that this has got a weird shape to it. We actually need to go into our video settings once we've enabled this and turn off smooth lighting, and what it does is it gives us an area around light sources that are bright enough to not spawn mobs and dark enough to spawn mobs. So this is red and green. Appreciate it that people with color blindness or certain types of color blindness might not be able to see this, so let's enable a different pack. So back to global resources, let's deactivate the red one and activate the blue one instead. And back on our world, exactly the same thing, but now it has a blue tint to it. So everything in the normal colors of the game is not spawnable by mobs, and anything in the darker area is spawnable by mobs. And finally, let's switch out for the black version, just in case neither of those are really working for you. And there we go, we now have the black version as well, which is a lot darker, but will also give you quite a good representation of what's going on. Now, this doesn't take into account what type of block it is, like leaf blocks are technically not spawnable. It is just the block light level that it's showing you, not what blocks are spawnable as well. The next on the list is Server List UI, which is basically a user interface update, and this relates to the server list on the game. So if we come to our resource packs and we find our server list one and activate that in global resources, and then we go over to our servers tab, you'll see that all of the featured servers are gone. The add server button is up to the top, and these are a little bit wider and basically just a nicer way of looking at it. Split screen in this, you can really see the difference. The vanilla server list has a 50-50 split, whereas the one that I've done, that gives you more room to see what you're looking at on your servers, and it also gets rid of the featured servers and moves the add server button to the top of the list, because that's quite a useful button to be able to use. Hiding it all the way down at the bottom is just quite frustrating, and all of these featured servers, if you're like me and don't play on them, they are just getting in the way. So we've got rid of those, and we've made it nice and simple to be able to join your servers, the ones you actually want to play on. Next on the list is the smaller shield, which does exactly what it says. The normal shield takes up quite a lot of your screen when you're playing, which can be quite frustrating. So what we've done is just shrunk down the model size a little bit so it's not quite as invasive. It will still repel exactly the same amount of damage and blast stuff and things like that. It's no different from the normal shield, it just looks a little bit smaller, and the texture has been changed slightly to fit the smaller design. And then from shields to no vignette, and if you're not sure what that refers to the fog effect at the bottom of the world. Let's check it out. Now this one's going to be difficult to see split screen, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fade from this version to this version, and you should see that the fog around the outside of the screen, the darker area, is not as dark. So going back from this version to the vanilla version, you'll see it is, that fog effect, that darkening effect has just been completely taken away, which is great. Next on the list is no potion particles, and whilst the potion particles themselves are fine, it's actually the beacon ones that cause a problem, particularly when recording videos. The beacon particles are absolutely a massive annoyance, so we've just got rid of them. Giving myself the fire resistance effect on both accounts. You'll see the vanilla one has the horrible little fart bubbles that blow up in your face, and they become incredibly distracting when you're trying to work on things and record a video. On this side, there is none, absolutely none at all, and whilst that does mean you can't see the potion bubbles from when you splash the potion on someone, it is very preferable if you're working around beacons a lot, because you don't have those horrible swirls getting in your face. Much better. And speaking of things being much better, we've also made the pumpkin blur more transparent. Let's check that out. So when you put a carved pumpkin on your head to go to the end to avoid the enderman, you will know that you get this horrible screen, and it's very difficult to see through, which not only is annoying, it's also quite unrealistic. So what we've done, if we fade through to the other one, is just made it less dark. So there's still an effect there, but it's just not very dark, and you might consider that to be a little bit cheaty. I don't think so. I think that just makes the game a little bit more playable. And I say we, I've done all these. I keep referring to the we've done this and we've done that. No, I've done all of these things. No credit. Shut up. The next one on the list is fog remover, which is technically a shader. It has been designed for Windows 10. It might not work on mobile or console due to the way they process graphics, but let's check this out. And in the vanilla version of the game, this is quite difficult to see in the overworld. Basically, what you're looking for is the fog around the edge of the world. If we go to the new pack and then fly up, you'll notice you've got a ring around there, but there is no fog effect. This is much easier to see in the Nether, and that's kind of what it's designed for, really. Playing the Bedrock edition of the game in the Nether is quite a foggy and depth-limited experience. If you spent any time down here, you might notice that doesn't matter what graphical settings you choose, the fog is always very, very close, and that is because it is fixed in the game code itself and not adjusted by your graphic settings. Turning the fog off doesn't allow us to see a great deal more, and actually shows us that the render distance in the Nether is fixed as well, but it does take away that haze, which can give you a little bit of a headache as you've been working in the Nether, over time. So in areas like this where you can't see very far, it just makes the whole thing just feel a little bit brighter and less dull. Whereas when you're flying around the Nether, having the fog off does look a little bit weird because the chunks are rendering so close to the player. So basically use that one at your own discretion. And the next one I've called Better Rain, and it's basically just a small rain particle pack. Let's check that out. And you'll all be familiar with the vanilla rain, which is basically long strips of rain. And again, for recording YouTube videos, it's a little bit intrusive and it makes the rendering of the videos look a little bit funky when they get compressed by YouTube. And it's just generally not very nice to look at. Switching the pack on, you've still got rain drops, but they look more like drops rather than lines. They're less intrusive and not as much going on, which means it's not as bad when getting compressed by YouTube, and overall a more pleasant playing experience, in my opinion. And then we get on to Better Doors, which is the last resource pack we're going to look at today. We're not going to look at the Wandering Trader one today, but there are a couple more things we are going to talk about. But in terms of Better Doors, these are not ones I actually use in survival. This is just something that I've been working on for a pack and people like them, so I thought I'd share them. And I'm sure you're all more than familiar with the vanilla doors, so there's not much point in looking at these. So let's flick over to the new pack. And you'll see that I've done everything except for the birch ones. I've only done 5 designs, which we've got the oak doors, we've got the spruce doors, which are just an improvement on spruce, we've got dark oak doors, which look a little bit more dungeony, we've got the jungle doors, the acacia doors, which are kind of like iron bars, and then the vanilla birch doors. Just because I haven't done another door, that's all. So yeah, that's all the resource packs. Except for the one at the very top of the list, which is obviously the most important resource pack of all, which is Foxy's resource pack, version 3.1.0. Basically, this is the one I use. I always have this enabled on all of my worlds, and it includes the better netherite armor, weapons and tools, the better leather armor, the smaller shields, the no potion and beating particles, better rain, transparent pumpkin blur, better server UI list, and some other little bits and bobs as well. Let's check it out. Going to Minecraft and enabling the resource pack on our global resources, we come straight out of there and we'll see a few things have changed from the vanilla. First of all, we've got subscribe to Foxy up there. There are a few different ones of those that will change over time, and the marketplace button has lost all of its text and colour. It just has a normal grey button like normal, and pack by FoxyNoTail is written at the bottom. Going into the play screen, you will see that on the servers tab, we have the servers tab just like before. And if I go into a world, the loading messages are to do with me and Truly Bedrock and things like that. So it's all a little bit of a sneaky advertising scheme. No, it's a really nice pack, but I have added those bits in just for a bit of fun, really, more than anything. I'm not trying to get anybody to do anything they don't want to do. If you want to use that pack, you can. If not, you can use all of the individual ones. It's absolutely fine. But for me, it's absolutely great. I love it. It's my favourite pack in the whole world, and I hope you like it too. So back on the website, flicking back to the main downloads page and going to the add-ons or behavior packs page, we will see that we've got my mob heads, we've got the custom armor stands by Dime Rob's Probs, one player sleep, and the chuck loader and spectator mode as well. Now, I want to mention these because there is currently a bug on Minecraft Realms, which means if you add any of these, really, then there is a chance that your realm will also add in a completely different set of resources as well, which are nothing to do with me, which, yeah, it's a bit of a problem. It's happened with one player sleep, it's happened with my mob heads, and it's happened with another one of my packs as well. And people are reporting that they are able to craft items that they shouldn't be able to craft in the game, which is part of another pack. Now, one of my patrons, Hanku, was kind enough to go through a few of the issues that he'd seen with this, and basically when the realm adds in the foreign pack or the weird pack that's nothing to do with mine, it actually combines them. And he sent me the combined pack, and using that combined pack, I can actually craft things like Elytra in survival. I can craft end portal tiles, I can craft spawn eggs, and all sorts of things I should not be able to craft in survival. I just want to repeat, this is not part of my packs. If this happens to you, when you add my packs onto your realms, then please go and upvote the problem on the bug report that you'll find in the description below, because it is nothing to do with me. There is a temporary fix, and that is to change the UUIDs of the packs before you upload them, which you can do by going to the pack folder, opening the manifest file, and then changing the UUIDs here to something completely unique. And if you want a unique UUID, you can go to a UUID generator online, just Google that, paste it into there, and into there, and then reload it, and hopefully that will fix the problem, but it will come back again. There is a big problem with realms and packs at the moment. It doesn't seem to happen with resource packs as much as it does behavior packs, but it is a problem because I don't want people on my worlds being able to craft endermites and end portals and elytra and things like that. I think that's kind of all sorts of game breaking problems, and I really appreciate the fact that people have been reporting this and mention it to me. It is not a part of my packs, and I'm very sorry that you are encountering these problems. Anyway, that's all from me today. That's all I wanted to go through. Thank you all very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you have lots and lots of fun using my resource packs and add-ons. Please let me know if you have any problems. I have a new bug tracker page on my Discord. Feel free to drop any bugs that you find in there, and hopefully we'll get them all fixed and some new ones coming out very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!